we're going to look at what's called nonlinear equations. Now, the nonlinear part we'll focus on later, the graphing side of things. Right now we're focusing on solving the equations. So how do we just solve this equation? Well, you can't do elimination. You actually can't just square everything. So what we're going to do is use substitution. So I am going to get y by itself. If I was to do that, I would subtract 2x. So I would get negative y equals negative 2x plus 3. Then I would divide by negative 1. So that becomes a positive 2x and a negative 3. So we get y equals 2x minus 3. So now we can plug this in for y. So what that's going to look like is x squared plus 2x minus 3 squared equals 9. It is still squared because we're only plugging it in for y. We're not plugging it in for y squared. So we have to FOIL here. So 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3. First is 4x squared, outside negative 6x, inside negative 6x, last positive 9. So we get x squared plus 4x squared minus 12x plus 9 equals 9. So we solve. Here's some like terms. 5x squared minus 12x, subtract 9. So that equals 0. So what do we do when we get to this point? Well, we can factor out the x. So x times 5x minus 12 equals 0. So right here, x has two different solutions. We have x equals 0. And then when we isolate this of 5x minus 12 equals 0, remember we have to isolate each one to equal 0. So we solve, so we add 12. 5x equals 12. So x equals 0 and 12 over 5. All right. Let me get rid of some of this stuff here. All right, x, I can write it on this side. X equals 0 and 12 over 5. 0 and 12 over 5. So we've only found x, now we just got to find y. Well, solving y can be easy. Let's go back to this right here. We can plug this in anywhere. We can plug it in up here, we can plug it in here. I'm going to recommend the one without the exponents. So let's use y equals 2x minus 3. We've already solved for y there. So when we plug in 0, right, we would get y equals negative 3. So that's one answer. And then we got to do one more. When we plug in y equals 2 times 12 over 5. Well, to solve for that, that's 24 over 5 minus 3. All right, do that over 1, so that becomes, got to multiply that by 5. Yep, 5, so it becomes 15 over 5. So 24 minus 15, that would be 9 over 5. So there's how you solve. So those are your two answers, well, really 4 answers. So that's how you solve one set. Now let's look at one more example. Example 2. Example 2 gives the problem of, once again, just another nonlinear system. BTD plus 25, and then BTD minus 5TD. All right. And it wants us to solve this equation. This one we're actually going to use elimination because we have opposites. Positive 5TD and negative 5TD. Well, those are opposites. So we can cancel those out. add these together, that's 2btd. All right. Now I understand this is two variables, but we have like terms there, so we can add them together. So those cross out. 25 plus 15 equals 40. So to solve for btd, divide by 2 and get 20. So now we can plug in 20 wherever we see btd. So let's go back to the first equation. Well, we plug in 20 for btd, and now we're left with one variable and we can solve. Subtract 20. 5 equals 5 TD, and what do you know about that? TD equals 1. Now we can plug in for what we know here. For B, let's go back to TD is 1. So 1 times B plus 5 times 1 equals 25. We solve, all right, so that's obviously B, it's minus 5, B equals 20. And there would be your answer, and that's how you do a couple of nonlinear system of equations.